Hey guys, welcome to my channel Beauty and Beyond. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the newly launched foundation from C2P Pro. This is a brand which is called C2P Professional Makeup, and then we have their Luminous Silk Foundation. Now these foundations come in 14 shades altogether, and I have 3 shades for you. I will be swatching them and showing you how they look on my skin. But let's first read from the description what it actually does. So on the box as well as on the bottle, you have the description written which says a lightweight liquid foundation that delivers buildable coverage and a long-lasting hydration with a luminous natural finish. It is suitable for all skin types, developed in true to tone fade-proof shades, never flaky or masky, for an even natural look. So what they're saying is that it is lightweight, it has a dewy finish, but it has a buildable coverage, so you can build it up, but the first layer you put is quite sheer, as they say. They also say that it is true to tone, which means that the shades will match you, and then they say that it is fade proof, which means that it will not oxidize or fade off with time. So every claim that they have made, we are going to be checking that out, and I'll be showing you how it works, how long it stays, and all of that. Coming to the packaging first, you get this holographic outer packaging, as you can see, which looks beautiful, and then you have this sleek bottle which is made out of glass, and it has a pump system. You get 30 ml of product, and the price is $5.99. Now the expiry date and the manufacture date is written only on the outer box and not on the bottle, so you cannot throw out the outer box. The shades which I have today are called 06 Medium Tan, 01 Fair, and 02 Fair. I have picked up more like yellow undertone shades because I have yellow undertone myself. The price of this foundation is $5.99. Now these foundations are enriched with argan oil and vitamin E, and along with that, in the website they have mentioned that it comes with skin loving ingredients, which means that the ingredients that they have put are not going to harm your skin. Another thing that is mentioned on their website is that this foundation is perfect for those long hours of work or a full glam wedding night. Basically, they are implying that it stays on for a long period of time. The texture of this is lightweight and buttery smooth, and it gives you a second skin feel with a dewy finish. Also, they have mentioned that this foundation is able to erase those blemishes. If you have dark spots or acne, this foundation can cover that up. Now all these claims are great, but we need to check them out, right? So let's just jump into the application part, and then I will give you my review on these products. The first shade that I'm taking is 06 Medium Tan, and this is how the color looks. The second shade that I'm taking is 02 Fair. Now if you see properly, the 02 Fair has more yellow undertone, and the previous one which I used had more peach undertone. Next we will move to 01 Fair, which looks something like this. The 01 Fair is the most yellow out of all the shades which I have shown you. Out of the 3, I feel 01 Fair is the best match for me because it has the most amount of yellow undertone, and that is my skin tone. I have medium skin tone with yellow undertones, so that will be a match for me after blending. So the shade that I'm going with is 01 Fair, and this is how it looks. The consistency of this is not liquidy and not very heavy, so it is somewhere in between. Now remember that I have not used a primer before applying the foundation. Now there are 2 ways to blend this. One is with a beauty blender and another is with a brush. Both of these are from PAC Cosmetics. So on one side I'm using the brush, and on the other side I'm using this blender. I feel that I need a little more on this side of my face, so I'll just take another thoda sa pump of the foundation and then again blend it. Now I will zoom in and show you the difference. I feel that both the sides are equally blended well. There is no patchiness around my mouth or anywhere, not under my eyes, and there are no creases of this foundation. Only a little bit you can see on my lids, but other than that, on my smile lines or anywhere else, there is no creasing. Also, this foundation is very matte. Now I'm taking a tissue paper and let's see whether this foundation transfers or not. This transferred only a little bit, which is very less, equal to almost nothing, because I don't mind this much, to be very honest. And where I put the tissue paper, in this area you can see the foundation is still intact. So even if you are rubbing your sweat with a tissue paper, you don't have to worry that your foundation will move from that place. Another test I want to do is whether it is waterproof or not, because if you're sweating in the summers, you don't want your foundation to move or wither away. You want your foundation to stay intact even after a sweaty day. So that is why let's try this one. So I have applied a little bit of water right here. Now I will soak it in with this tissue paper. And this is the amount which has transferred. My foundation is still intact right here, which is surprising. It has not moved away, it has not rubbed away, and that is great. I thought of applying another layer on my acne to see if it can cover my acne marks. I think it did pretty well in the first layer also, but now when I have applied it directly on the spots, it has helped in concealing the dark spots and also the redness, which is great, so that you don't have to use different color correctors for this. Now that you have seen all the tests, you decide what you think about this foundation and let me know in the comment section below right now. Till then, I would just do my whole face and I'll be back. First, coming to the shade range, 14 shades might look like it's a huge number of shades, but that is not enough. And when you check out the website, you will see that the shades mostly range from fair to medium. There are not many darker shades. There is, I think, only 1 or 2 dark shades. Apart from that, all other shades you will find are different variants of fair and medium. I was very careful when I was choosing the shades. I wanted something which was in the medium family and which also had yellow undertones. But from the medium, I could only pick up medium tan. According to the shade chart, what I felt was right, I picked those up. So I picked up medium tan, then I picked up fair 02 and fair 01, which is the first shade. Now if you see at this fair shade, it does not look like this is the fairest shade which you can find out there, and it also has a lot of yellow undertones. That is why this is the shade which I have applied today, and this is the shade which matches me, which is very close to my skin tone. And you saw even this shade was looking really light when I applied on my face. So apparently what happened is that I was very careful, but still the shade that I picked up did not match me, not any one of it. This blunder might be due to 2 reasons. One is that it might happen that the shade cards that they have mentioned are not similar to what you are getting in the bottle, like not very similar to what you are getting. And secondly, what might happen is that they are not very versatile shades. The shades that they have introduced are not going to be matched matching all type of skin tones, even if you are a fair or a medium skin tone. If you can find your shade, well and good, but I would recommend you to be very careful and take your time while choosing the shade. Secondly, coming to the texture, I feel that the texture was really good. It blended in very nicely. It was creamy, but I feel that you need to moisturize your skin very well before applying this so that you don't get flakiness and everything, because it is a matte formulation. Third, coming to the coverage of this foundation, I felt that when you apply this in the beginning, it feels like a lot. It feels that you have a foundation which is of very high coverage and you don't need any more. But I have seen that with time, when you blend it out and like after half an hour or 1 hour, this foundation oxidizes like anything. So it feels like you have nothing left on your face. So I would suggest you, even if you look like a ghost in the beginning, you might want to wear 2 or 3 layers of this foundation if you want a full coverage. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking. So I have swatched this on my hand like half an hour or 1 hour ago, and now I will be taking a fresh pump and I will swatch it side by side. Now just look at the difference. Who will say that these two are like the same foundation? So that is what I'm telling you, that you need to apply 2 or 3 layers, because after 1 hour or 1.5 hours, this will fade away. So the claim which says that it stays on, it doesn't fade, is not right, because it will fade away, it will oxidize. Let me show you the same on my face as well. So this part is the foundation, and just look at the difference. This looks so much more lighter than what it was. That is number one con of this foundation. The best part that I felt about this foundation is that it is quite mattifying, and it is also transfer proof and waterproof to some extent. I mean, you saw the results, right? It only transferred like a very little bit when you are touching it with a tissue paper, or even when you are applying water. So if you just set it a little bit with a loose powder or a compact powder, then even if you are sweating, this will not move, this will not budge, and that is the only reason why I might pick up this foundation in the future. The cost of this is also very reasonable. It is 600 rupees, and if there is a discount running on their website, then maybe you can get it for lesser than 600, which I feel is quite okay for a foundation, because most of the mid-range foundation are somewhere between 500 and 600. Now that I have covered the pros and the cons, if you ask me for my verdict on the C2P Pro Luminous Silk Foundation, I would say that I had this for quite a period of time. Like I had this for I think 1 or 2 months, and quite surprisingly, my affinity towards it is not much. I did not reach out for this foundation more than 2 or 3 times. That also was just for testing it out. So you understand my verdict on this. If you ask me whether I should go for this foundation or not, I would say that no, I would not go for this foundation. The main reason for that is the shades. None of the shades actually matched me, and whenever I wear this foundation, I look like this, like I'm looking right now. You can see my neck and my face. So that is a huge problem for me, and on the camera also it does not look very blended. Even though now after 2 hours this foundation has oxidized to a great extent, so it might look like it is matching, but I know that the moment I step out, people will see and people will notice, and that is the reason I don't generally go for this foundation. But if you can find a shade for yourself, well and good, then of course pick it up. Now I have told you all the pros and cons, and based on that you make your decision. Do you think that this is something which satisfies your criteria? If yes, then go for it, or else I think I would skip it. The texture of this foundation is great, and I would have really liked to have this kind of a foundation in my vanity, but as I told you, maybe I messed up picking up the right shade, or maybe the shades are not very versatile. I don't know what happened there, but that is the only thing which, you know, keeps poking me. And another thing is, of course, it oxidizes like crazy, which is something I do not like from my foundation. I do not want to look something when I'm in my house, and then when I step out, I don't want to look like something else. And as this foundation oxidizes, another thing what happens is that you are never able to understand how much foundation you need on your face, because at first you feel like, okay, one layer is enough, I am looking good, you feel like the coverage is beautiful, but after some time the coverage just, you know, fades out or dies down, whatever you want to say. In the beginning when I was applying, you saw in the clip, right, the blemishes that I had, that was also covered so nicely by this foundation. But now if I see closely, I can still see the blemishes peeking through. So it's like a whole different situation after 1 hour or after 2 hours. Now I have cleared out all the points. Now it of course depends on you whether you want to go for it or not. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this foundation. But apart from this foundation, I would say this brand has some pretty amazing products which I'm planning to review in my upcoming videos. They have this glitter glue, they have mixing solutions, and a lot of that which are really useful and which I love using. Especially the glitter glue is perfect. So I will be showing that and reviewing those in the upcoming videos. But for this one, I would say I did not like it. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I have such review videos planned which will be very useful for you. I'll see you next week with another video. Take care till then. Tata.